welcome back to my channel. Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be talking about 5 things I learned as a newlywed. I wish I had this video for when I was a newlywed because I think it would be a little bit helpful. If you guys are wondering where I got this sweater, make sure to go check out my Instagram. I'll leave it right here. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. With that being said, let's get on into the video. For the question of the day, go ahead and leave one comment that you've either learned or heard from someone else that could really help in marriage. I would love to know your tips and tricks because I'm still learning. A girl's still learning. So the first thing I had to learn in marriage was my husband is not mine. If you're a Christian and you're a believer and your husband is as well, your husband is not yours. Your husband is God's. So it's just so comforting being able to take that pressure off you and know that you are not in control of your husband. God is. Ultimately, Kyle is God's, not mine. And for some reason, that just took so much pressure off me being a wife. Like, I was just like, oh, I can breathe. Like, I don't have to control every little bit of Kyle. I don't have to like nitpick because I'm not his mom. I'm not his ruler. God's his ruler. And not that I can't like, hey, give some advice, because he gives me advice all the time about how I can change. I think we're here for that. But just in the big picture, knowing that Kyle has to answer to God. He doesn't have to answer to me or anyone else. He is God's, and it's just so comforting. Next thing I learned is to plan your meals ahead of time. I cannot say how many times I haven't done this, and it has caused me so much stress throughout the week. And I literally go into the grocery store every day. In the beginning of marriage, I actually was pretty good at this because I was like, okay, I've not been a cook before, I'm not a chef, so I really want to plan this out. And I was actually really good at planning out like the schedule and buying groceries all at once, so I didn't have to go to the store every single day. Now I've kind of fallen out of that and I'm starting to go back to the store every day. But it puts so much stress, like, oh, what am I going to cook today? And just sitting down for like 30 minutes to an hour and writing out your meal plan was the best thing I've ever done. And sometimes when I sit down and I'm like, oh, I don't want to do it, and I do it, I'm like so proud of myself and so thankful throughout the week because I can just go into the fridge, whip up some dinner, and it's a good dinner too. It's not something that I had to rush to the store and go grab. So 2 things that really helped me do this is picking up my groceries, like actually not going to the grocery store and buying my groceries. I go and pick my groceries up from Kroger. They charge you $5 to gather all your groceries for you and put them in your car, and you don't have to tip or anything. But if you guys like to shop at Walmart, I know Walmart does this for free, and I think it's mostly just to get all the traffic out of their stores, so their workers and employees are doing the shopping for you and they can just put it in your cart and you can be on your way. That is one of the best things I've ever experienced, because I know when I was a newlywed, I would spend like 2 hours in the grocery store trying to find things. It was just so stressful to me and it was always busy. Once somebody told me that, I was like, I can go online and buy my groceries. Yes, that is a gift from God, because seriously, best thing ever. It takes like 20 minutes and you're done. So I would highly recommend that. Another thing I would recommend is getting the app Paprika. I mentioned this in another video and I kind of went into detail about everything, like how the app works. So I'll link that video down below, but it just helps you plan your grocery list and it also saves recipes for you. What's really nice about it is it separates all your groceries into like produce. So when you're on the website, it's just really easy to be like, okay, I need milk and eggs and cheese. These are all the veggies I need. I love this app, so obviously you can tell I'm really excited about it and I want to share it with you guys, so I'll link it down below. The next tip I have is to spend a little bit of time cleaning up the house and preparing dinner before your husband gets home. Now I know not everyone can do this because sometimes wives get home later than their husbands, and that's not a problem. So if this tip isn't for you, just move past it. We'll get on to more. But I am actually home before Kyle. I work from home, so it's super nice. I try to do this. I'm definitely not perfect at it, but I always try to like spend 10 minutes just making the bed, picking it up, maybe lighting a few candles, and preparing dinner beforehand. So when he comes home, I'm like ready to chill with him. Like dinner's already in the oven and candles are lit. It kind of sets the mood. Like I turn music on really low, and I was actually a lot better at this when I was a newlywed. So I noticed the night just goes a lot smoother, and I notice he is calmer and more relaxed. And when I make him like a really good dinner, like last night I made like chicken and potatoes, he hugged me in the kitchen for like a minute and I was like, wow, like he loves me. It's so dumb, but like you can just tell when you make your husband like a good hearty dinner, I feel like they love you a little bit more. I think that old saying is true, is a man's way to his heart is through his belly. And that tip has just really helped me, but I know not everyone can do it, so don't worry about it. You're not a bad wife if you can't do that. So the next tip I have is right when your husband comes home or when you come home, kiss each other, hug each other, make some connection, because it is so special just knowing that like, oh, like we were away all day and now I get to kiss you and I love you and I'm paying attention to you now and I'm home and I'm engaged with you. So even if you're busy, even if you're preparing dinner, or even if you're finishing up work, make it a point to go and kiss your husband, or if you get home and your husband's home first, go kiss him, go make out with your husband. So that is just one of my tips that I really like to share with people, because even if you guys are super busy and it's not like a really romantic kiss, it's still a nice gesture, and I feel like in your heart you do feel like a little bit more connected. And then number 5 was huge for me. Talk about your expectations. So I have a story about this. Coming home from my honeymoon, we had the best honeymoon. It was so much fun, and for some reason I didn't even know this was an expectation of mine. I just thought everybody kind of knew it. But when you come home from your honeymoon, I thought Kyle was like gonna pick me up and walk me up the stairs. Like we would just have this romantic night. But we got home at like midnight from our honeymoon, so Kyle was super tired and he was sick over the honeymoon, so he wasn't feeling that good. He was just getting over sickness. But for some reason I had this expectation that we were gonna have such a romantic night when we got to our house together, because it was like the first time living together and all this, and we just went to bed. Before that I knew that he was like super tired, so I cried in the closet and he's like, what is wrong with you? And if I just would have like explained that expectation to him ahead of time, yeah, it might have taken out some of the romance, but he would know like this is important to my wife, and so I want to make like this night as romantic as possible. Or we could have talked about it and be like, listen, I'm really not feeling good, or I'm really tired, so can we hold off till tomorrow night, or something like that. But just the fact that it wasn't talked about, that was an issue, not only for me but for him too, because he's like, whoa, like what's wrong, why are you crying in the closet? So talk about your expectations. Try to think about your expectations, because I didn't even know that was an expectation until I came home and I'm like, wait, that's not how I wanted it to go. Just being able to communicate is so important and definitely key. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave it in the comments down below if you want me to do more videos like this. I definitely will. And I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye!